Philippe, how are you feeling heading into this Cup semi-final?
Excited. It's always exciting to play a semi-final, to be close to a final, to play at Hampden. We had a good experience there. You're 2 games away of a trophy, so everybody's really excited about it.
How would you describe the mood in the camp and amongst your players after a disappointing result on Wednesday?
Hungry. Desire to have a new game, to prove themselves. So that's the case, and that's what I expect also.
John Sterling had some strong words about the performance. What did you make of his assessment of things?
Yeah, Nick just told me, because I don't read everything. That it's words of a player who is disappointed because we lost points, who maybe lacks a little bit experience in that way. If I see Virgil van Dijk giving a press interview yesterday after the game, it's totally different, and that's the way it should be, because those are things for young players to learn and to become better in that. It's more talking out of the frustration. But I know we can count on Dujon on the field, what he did the last couple of months, the moment he was fit. That's also not been the case enough for me, so no, we will work with him on that also.
Yeah, you seemed a bit more positive about elements of the performance. Do you stand by that assessment, or can things change when you look back at it a couple of days on?
It was more positive than the Ross County game, for sure. There were a lot of elements that were much better. You need to give also credit to Dundee, the way they defended. So they kept on defending, they kept on running back with a lot of numbers. And Dundee is normally a team who gets a lot of chances and a lot of shots on target. They didn't manage to do that in this game, so that proves that we did something right. But we didn't get the result. That's true. And we could have done several things better. That's also true. So we're going to work on that to make it again better this game. We had some players coming back out of injury last couple of weeks. We know that story. We know also, and I said it from the beginning, it's impossible if you've been 2 months out, 3 months out, that from the first game you're the star. I see that also yesterday with players like Jota coming back out of an injury. So those are all normal things. But you need to take the moments and to grab those moments in those circumstances to get the points, what we didn't do. So in that way, Dundee was for me a much different game than Ross County.
Dujon spoke about the belief within the squad. Have you noticed those belief and confidence levels dipping during your recent form, or is that something you've had to address with any of the players?
It's always, of course, if you win 10 games in a row, you have more belief than when you lose 2 times points. But this is Rangers. This is a club where you always need to fight, and every point you lose, it's like you're going through hell. That's this world, and that's good. That's also the challenge, and it's now interesting to see which players can live in that way. But it's an exciting place to be, because on the other side, you can go also to heaven when you win games and when you win trophies. In other teams where it's not so important to win points, or when it's not something dramatic when you lose points, you cannot go to heaven also, because those are not the clubs that win trophies. So this is something you need to embrace.
If there are fans who have lost belief in this side or in some of these players, what would you say to them ahead of?
The same thing what I said in October. And I think this team in October didn't prove that much in results, in attitude, in resilience, and in the 6 months they proved it in several times. So it's there, they can do it. They showed it, and not only one time or to be lucky. No, they showed it several times with quality. And that's what they need to do again. So yes, my belief is there 200%.
How is the squad for Sunday? Diomande and Ridvan, are they available?
Diomande will be available. Ridvan is still a question mark.
Philippe, everyone else okay after Wednesday night?
Yeah, we can do a one-on-one, it's not a problem. Maybe we can have dinner this evening or something.
Philippe, can I ask you, how do you cope with criticism that comes?
I know it's part of the job. It's like that. I've been now more than 30 years in this world, and I've been buried a lot of times as a player and as a manager. So I know what I'm doing in a club, and I know what I'm doing in this club, and I know we're in the right road together. We had some bumps along the road, and a lot of things had to do with the injuries that we had in the squad. We made a good assessment in the club about that, how to avoid it in the future, and that will make things also better and easier. And now it's about taking the maximum out of the situation now, and it's a growing situation. Kemarouf played his first minute in how many months? Abda comes back now after an injury of 2-3 months. He was already important in this game, but just not scoring, and that's little bit of rhythm that you miss. Tom Lawrence didn't play that many minutes in one game from October. Kieran Dowell came back out of an injury. A lot of stories. So Dio will be back now. So we will grow again next couple of weeks, and it's about keeping the same resilience and the same mentality that they had before, and showing that quality on the pitch and taking the points.
You spoke about how players and how people deal with being at clubs like Rangers and Celtic when anything else other than a win is treated as a major disappointment. In your experience as a manager, have you felt any sort of intensity like this before when there is the pressure on?
Yes, in Club Brugge it's the same. Only winning, only becoming champion is the only thing that counts. But I've been like that all my life. There is nobody who can be more critical than me, because I want to win everything. Everybody who knows me from when I was a child, if it was with playing basketball or tennis or table tennis or whatever sport, I want to win. I made a lot of fights with my wife about that I wanted that mentality with my children, because I did it with them also. If I played the game with them and they were 3 years old, I wanted to win. I don't give anything. So that's the mentality that's necessary in clubs like this. But like I said, you need to embrace it. It's also because of that you can be successful and you can win trophies and you can have these exciting moments that will stay there for the rest of your life, those experiences. So yeah, that's what Ranger is about, that I know really well. That's why I love to be here also.
You need to be a special person, a different type of person to accept that though. Do you learn more about your players then in times of adversity?
Of course, it's easy to be good and to be happy when it goes easy. It's when the going gets tough, you see the personality and the character. And players can grow in this. It's also a growing experience. It's not only from nature that you have this, you can grow in that. So that's an important part of being part of this club. So it's also something that Niels knows also really well. It's something to look at in recruitment also.
Finally for me then, and from Hearts' perspective, I think they haven't beaten Rangers in the last 17 games, but they are playing really well at the moment. They're a team on the up, they're very positive just now. How do you counter that?
No, I don't counter anything. We're going to play our own game. We don't need to counter another team. So we're going to play our own game and believe in ourselves and showing our qualities.
You said you felt the performance on Wednesday was better than Sunday. Does the performance this Sunday need to be up another level than it was on Wednesday? Of
course. To win, you need a better performance than we had on Wednesday, for sure. But and that was the question, was the performance better than Ross County? Yes, it was. We need a better one now to go to the final, that everybody knows. We need to take the right lessons and we need to do the right things against Hearts, who play a really good season and they were really successful. So it's a very interesting test again for the players, and I know they're all hungry to go to that final. They had the experience already to go to a final and to win it also. Some of them won already several, so the hunger is big.
as a coach, there's been a narrative that this group of players have maybe come close to success on a number of occasions and fallen short. How do you go about changing that?
It's really strange to say that because this group of players have been together for 9 months now. So people can talk a lot about the past, but it's a group sport. If you can speak about individual sports, you can go maybe making accounts like that, but you're always part of a group. You're always dependable on other people around you, on other players around you. So you can never make assessments like that. There are maybe really good players who never win something in their career because they were in the wrong club. So in that way, all the players are here. They know they're in the right club because this is a club that can achieve things. It's about them taking this moment.
Philippe, can I ask you about Nico Raskin? Other players have come back from injury and kind of jumped ahead of him in the queue to get some first team. What does he have to do to get back in your team?
Keep on doing what he's been doing. He's working hard. We had also with Dio somebody in his position who was doing really well. Tom Lawrence, Kieran Dahl coming out of injuries, who were doing well also. Before in a really good way. Nico also. So tough choices to make in that position. Other positions, tough choices to make because it's more difficult to find people who are really in good form or really pushing in that way. But on the midfield, there's a hard battle for the moment, yes.
When you first came in, you asked, or you commented a lot about lateral passing and players being more positive. And we've seen that straight away in the last couple of games and maybe looked a wee bit more nervous. How do you stop that falling back into bad habits and make sure to get back to the good form you had?
Yes, no, that's a good point. I think against Dundee we were too direct. So we lost the balance in that way. That we sometimes wanted too fast to play deep. And it's finding that good balance by showing it with images and what we need to do and take lessons out of that. So maybe the hunger was too big to go too fast forward. We need to find a good balance in that and do that in a better way against Heart.